How much did the Paxton impeachment cost taxpayers? It's March 21st, 2025, and these are your headlines. Well, finally, more than a year and a half after Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick first requested an audit of the taxpayer cost of Attorney General Ken Paxton's failed impeachment, the state auditor's office has released its report showing $5.1 million in total cost. Questions do remain, though, particularly regarding payments to law firms hired by the Texas House. So shortly after the Senate acquitted Paxton on all impeachment charges back in September of 2023, Lieutenant Governor Patrick requested a full audit. And while the Senate and the OAG, the Office of the Attorney General, promptly turned over their records, then Speaker Dade Phelan refused repeated requests to do the same. That changed earlier this month when new House Speaker Dustin Burrows provided the long-withheld records to Patrick, who then turned them over to the state auditor, Lisa Collier. Well, on Friday, Collier's office released the long-awaited report revealing that the House spent millions in taxpayer dollars on that impeachment effort. And Patrick applauded the release of the records, calling the expenses exactly as expected and a complete waste of money. However, records reviewed by Texas Scorecard reveal over $1 million in payments made by Texas Legislative Counsel to law firms involved in the House's investigation of Paxton, raising questions about whether they were fully accounted for in the audit released today. Now, Texas Legislative Counsel, TLC, is a nonpartisan agency that assists lawmakers with bill drafting, legal research, and technical support. It's not typically at the center of high-profile investigations. As a publication, the state auditor's office has not clarified whether payments made by TLC were included in the $5.1 million total. The audit summary only shows less than $4,000 in supplies attributed to Ledge Counsel. In a big win for Irving residents opposed to gambling, Las Vegas Sands folded on plans to build a casino complex in the city. Irving City Council voted last night to rezone now vacant property owned by Sands to allow for new development, but not casino gambling. City officials have been trying to fast-track approval of a zoning change requested by Sands that would have allowed casino gambling within a destination resort if the state legalizes gambling. But the casino company's plans to bring it to Irving face strong opposition from the community, since residents first learned of the proposed rezoning during a council meeting last month. At a town hall meeting last Friday and again at a 7-hour planning and zoning commission earlier this week, residents overwhelmingly spoke against bringing casino gambling to Irving. While P&Z voted 5-4 to recommend the rezoning, public pressure pushed a majority of city council members to withdraw their support for the plan. The casino corporation had spent millions of dollars lobbying to legalize gambling in Texas. All parties acknowledge that legalization, which requires approval from the legislature and then voters, is unlikely to occur anytime soon. It's unclear how or whether Sands will move forward now with developing the Irving property, which, by the way, was the former home of Texas Stadium.
Hey folks, Chris Salcedo here. I've got something special for you, the Salcedo Storm podcast. As your friendly, liberty-loving Latino, I bring you a mix of engaging discussions to help us fight for our state and our conservative values. It's the perfect way to stay informed and engaged in what's happening around you. So, what are you waiting for? Don't miss out on the storm of information and entertainment coming your way. The Salcedo Storm podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts.
A new report from Rice University's Baker Institute found Houston ISD is operating 51 schools at under 50% capacity. An additional 81 campuses have enrollment under 75% capacity. The report concludes that while many schools are operating below capacity, another 60 HISD campuses exceed 100% capacity. Additional 22 schools are above 120%. This imbalance, paired with a $250 million budget deficit and shrinking enrollment, has pushed district officials to consider closing some of the campuses in the summer of 2026. District-wide capacity exceeds 200,000 students, yet HISD currently serves only 177,000. According to a plan released by the district, officials are budgeting for a drop of an additional 8,000 students next year. Over the past 5 years, enrollment has plummeted by 30,000 students, reducing taxpayer funding tied to student enrollment. While plans for shutting down some schools are being considered, the district has not yet released a firm list of schools slated for closure. For more of today's stories, go to TexasScorecard.com.